Our biggest concern as a company, and I would say that this is the concern for the world, is that our food system is under extreme pressure. Not only because of the climate emergency, but it's also a lot of humanitarian crisis going on out there. When we put these two main points together, this is going to take us to a hunger crisis. It's very, very important that we build a system that is more resilient than what we have today. And as Yara, we believe that we have the responsibility to act, and we can do something. Our company was born in 1905 based on curiosity and ambition to solve the famine in Europe back at that time. And when we look back and we look at our achievements, we see that the company's DNA is innovation and entrepreneurship. Our mission as a company is to responsibly feed the world and protect the planet. Our ambition is to grow a nature-positive food future, and that means scaling up the knowledge that we have been growing over time to as many people as possible. And we focus on three main pillars. One is to ensure climate neutrality. The company has the commitment to be climate neutral by 2050. We want regenerative agriculture to go mainstream because this is the best way of growing food, not only now but also for the future. And third, we have to ensure prosperity, especially for farmers, because if they're not succeeding, they're not going to stay in the fields, in the farms.
We are here in Dülmen, which is in the northwestern part of Germany, close to the Dutch border. And Yara has an R&D facility here, working for more sustainable solutions for the farming of the future. Food production and arable farming in particular has an impact on the soil. So it changes the soil characteristics. It reduces, for example, the soil organic matter. Agricultural soils have less biodiversity than, for example, a natural wetland soil or a forest soil. But this is normal. But within this little bit artificial system, we also have to maintain soil health. So that means we can increase soil organic matter also in an agricultural soil. For example, by regenerative agricultural practices like cover cropping, by adding more nutrients and also more organic matter to the soil. So there is ways to improve soil health also in agriculture. Some people question whether mineral fertilizer can play a role in this concept of soil health and regenerative agriculture. And I think mineral fertilizer are really important in that context because they replace the nutrients that we continuously harvest with the crops and that are exported from the agricultural fields. It's like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Crops take them up and they are building blocks of the biomass basically. Nitrogen, for example, is part of proteins. And it's released from any input of nitrogen, whether it's organic nitrogen or mineral nitrogen. And it will not be possible to reduce this to zero. So that's not possible, but it's possible to reduce it and to manage it. For example, by a more efficient use of nitrogen in agriculture, which means that farmers need to know how much fertilizer, how much nitrogen to apply, when and in which form. And that's really critical. So there is this role that mineral fertilizer have to play in a sustainable management of soils. Production of fertilizer is very much based on fossil fuels. So we need for the ammonia production, which is basis of all nitrogen products, we need hydrogen. And that hydrogen today comes from natural gas. So we crack natural gas and we have hydrogen and there's also CO2. The CO2 is not used. Normally it's just emitted. Green fertilizer means that we take hydrogen not from fossil fuels but from water by electrolysis. The major impact of green fertilizers is of course the huge reduction of emissions from the production of fertilizer. So it's about 80 to 90% less emissions from the production step. And the production step of fertilizers is an important part of the total footprint per crop.
Lantmännen is a Swedish farming cooperative, so we are basically owned by Swedish farmers. We have operations throughout the whole grain value chain. We are mainly based in Sweden. We wish to enable climate-neutral farming by 2050. The fossil-free fertilizers will help us in taking a step closer to that, but will also enable us to offer fossil-free food in the very near future. And this is where Yara's fertilizers comes in. Yara has a great solution, and we can find a market for it, and together we can make it happen. And I really think that Lantmännen has a great opportunity here because we have the whole value chain from field to fork. So we can take a product such as Yara's and bring the value all the way to the end customer.
More important than generating knowledge is to ensure that we can apply this knowledge. So for me, digital farming and digital agriculture is about ensuring that this knowledge is going to be available for farmers. So as an example, we create solutions that uses sensors that can be used in the machinery that the farmers are using in the field, such as the end sensor. We use also satellite images to create recommendations based on the status of the crops in the field. So it's about applying the right product in the right rate, in the right moment to ensure that the farmer is going to be producing more, but also with a lower environmental footprint.
Yara has multiple partnerships. Just to mention a few of the prominent high-level partnerships: World Economic Forum, the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, or the Sustainable Agriculture Initiative. These are more on the political scene or high-level partnerships. And the Cool Farm Alliance is a non-for-profit organization. And the mission of this Cool Farm Alliance is to provide farmers with instruments, with tools that they can improve performance of their farming systems. So improve and measure, that's the main aspect of it.
I think that the challenges that we have ahead of us, they are very complex. And it's important for us to always remember that we cannot solve those challenges alone. We need each and everyone involved in the food value chain to be stepping up. Because, again, if we are not addressing this together, it's very unlikely that we're going to succeed. So our call to action as a company is we must do this together. We can do this faster and we can do this better if we just stick together. The challenge is the same for everybody. And we need to ensure that our life in this planet is going to be, lasting longer.